shit's getting ugly. I'm watching his moves, and I've got a plan in my brain, yeah, getting off in a hurry. And it might get worse, but it's not Condor without pain, yeah. There will be lots who can hit some mad shots, but without a plan, this game is a long one. Better pray to God, cause I'm gonna clutch this. I will turn this heat to fucking gold. I love my friends, they say. It's been hours, still away. We might be all we have, the glory. Crystal clarity in my mind. Exposed, they got no work, no skills, they call the cold. But I've got a bigger plan if they bring a friend. But at the end of matter, either way, I still win. But I've got a bigger plan if they bring a friend. Like at the end of day, they're gone either way. My gun going pew 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 pew. It going pew 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 pew. My gun going pew pew. Ace. My gun going pew pew. Splattered. Yeah. If you burn me, yeah, got a shield and a phoenix down. You ain't putting out my flames. If it weren't me, then someone you need. Me, yeah, get lost. I know they always want my name. They just shifting through the pain, yeah. I know it's not the same, but you gotta try anything, yeah. And I've been going golden. I don't even gotta go in a long way away. I already know the way, yeah. Don't know what you've been told, but it's time to unlock whatever's in your brain, yeah. I love my friends, they say. It's been hours, still away. Might be all we have, the glory. Crystal clarity in my mind. Exposed, they got no work, no skills, they call the cold. But I've got a bigger plan if they bring a friend. But at the end of the day, gone either way, I'm still in. Alright. We're gonna hit that immortal status. Just another one. We ain't quitting until we hit the top. Nobody's better and we won't fall, taking it from the drop. A golden crown, chicken dinner is ours. So take the frown and go to some touchdown grass. Cause I kicked your ass. My gun going pew 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 pew. It going pew 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 pew.
Okay. It's about time we got back to some fucking Banner Saga, right? Because it's been like 2 months, roughly 2 months since we last played. So I think I can't even remember characters' fucking names. All I remember is the last thing we left off is wizard druid dude guy. I can't even remember his name. We ran into him. He broke the fucking bridge to save Home G, who lost an arm. And then we had like a weird spiritual vision of wizard druid dude and his mentor waifu talking to like the world snake and about how shit's about to go down. So we'll remember something at some point, right? Hopefully. Oh yeah. Oh, we haven't even destroyed the bridge yet. Shit. Okay. I didn't even realize I hadn't even done that yet. Okay. Mariners of the old world used these stones to find location in the sun even when there was none. Not many know exactly how. Oh, never deflected attack. Have we done the Great Hall conversation? Oh, you're under. You'll do as I say. I'm not here to argue. I'm telling you what that we're dying by the dozens every day now. You sent our best away with Hakan. How long do you expect us to last? You asked for this command, Fasolt. Don't let them get across that bridge. Fasolt takes his leave just as you approach. Not great timing, you think to yourself. Thank you for the audience. I forget your name. Rook. Rook, how is Ingvar? Will he survive? I think so. If I remember Ingvar well enough, he hasn't told you why he faced down Bellower Hat, did he? No, he keeps things to himself. Yeah, that sounds about right. Ingvar confronted Asunder in his youth during the Great Wars. He won that fight. None other but the Menders have done that. He proved us stronger. Maybe he thought to do it again. Ivory killed Asunder? How did he end up? How did he end up in Skoger? You'd have to pry that from himself. I don't know. He disappeared when the last king tried to name him Kinder. It occurs to you that Urander would not be on the throne now had that not happened. But why are you here, Rook? Be brief. The bridge needs to be destroyed. Oh, you have the answers. Wonderful. Come sit upon the throne. Every man I've ever met thinks he'd rival the gods himself, if only he were in charge. I am over 400 years old, and I know that I know little. You are a child, an infant, yet you know everything. Listen, human, this story is not about you. If you jump from that bridge today, the world would not change. Not either help assault, retake, or leave my city. And don't care which. Guards are quick to usher you. In the Great Hall, you don't resist. Alright, let's blow the bitch up. Fuck it. I remember distinctly, though, literally fighting on the bridge is a waste of fucking time and resources, and you just lose a shit ton of people. And there's no reason to keep trying. I'm gonna double check. Just because we're getting into this, I'm actually curious what happens if you just keep trying endlessly, or if there is a win condition. I'm genuinely curious. Oh, the internet's saying fight on the bridge for 3 days before destroying it. Alright, we'll do that. Fuck it. Fair enough. Assault admits, I'm not going to argue against putting you on the bridge, he says, but we've got plenty of wounded here as well. If you can work with Neil, we'll fight on the bridge. Assault nods and puts you in line with the others. Don't be a hero. Kill a few and come back alive. A slow terror starts to creep in from waiting to go into battle, but eventually you find yourself face to face with Rosa Dredge packed shoulder to shoulder. Ivan is his name. That's all right. Trying to remember the fucking druid guy's name. All right. To battle. Hmm. I don't really have that many barrel at my disposal. Okay. Not gonna hit Rook, is it? No. Alright, cool. Not as effective as I thought it was gonna be, but alright. Traps tile, cool. Dun 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 to gun dun to go. Alright. Now let's do taunts and enemy. Okay. Oh, he's summoning fucks. So we'll nip that in the bud. Really going for Ivan, you motherfucker. Okay, I'm definitely using his arc lightning thing wrong. Or at least not using it properly. Get fucked. Alright. Don't you dare go for homegirl. I still hate that turn order is fucking back and forth in this game. Thankfully Rook can get there. Village, I swear, leave him alone, you dickbag. Okay. Huzzah. You swear the fighting is getting more vicious and dangerous. Again, you let the next line of Varl push into battle when you don't dare to risk it anymore. Come back tomorrow if you're looking for more, says Fasolt. You sleep poorly. Ivan's suggestion to collapse the bridge, repeating it in your mind. Bum 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 bum. Heroes. So Oddleaf and Alet and Fasolt all can level if I have enough. 10 points. So he'd be the only one who could. Bum bum. Okay. Fight on the bridge. You approach the bridge, which gets a raised eyebrow from Fasolt, who's lugging a dead warrior over his shoulder. Back for more, he says. Glancing out onto the bridge, you can tell that they've lost ground on the bridge since yesterday. What's the plan here, you ask with concern. I just do what Urinder tells me, replies Fasolt. And right now, we're killing every judge on that bridge, so throw in or piss it off. You don't want to fight. Help me clear bodies off the bridge. Her warriors are getting choked up around them. You know the drill, Fasol tells you as you prepare yourself for another perilous fight. You're starting to wonder if the point of risking your life... you wonder what the point of risking your life is if there's no progress to be seen. Round 2. Fight. Okay, only armor damage. We appreciate that. Take out big boy. Can you break too? Actually kill him? Yes, you can. Ouchies. Hit him, Ivan. Fuck it. That's a rude hit, my guy. Bum, bum, bum. Huzzah. If I was lying dead at your feet, I would regret ever crossing your path. Yeah. You'd swear the fighting is getting more vicious and dangerous again. You let the next line of Varl push into battle when you don't dare risk it anymore. Come back tomorrow. Sleep poorly. Ivan's suggestion still in your head. Alright. As you approach on the third day, the warriors are in more disarray than usual. Where's Basalt? You ask one of the passing Varl. Didn't make it, he replies. Dredge are nearly at the mouth of the bridge, barely held back. Your mind starts to wander in a dark place. You snap back to attention when you realize nearly the entire army of Varl are staring in your direction. Ivor walks past, shuffling slowly with an enormous axe in his remaining head, and his head towards the bridge. Damn, Basalt dying? Just like that. Ivor yelled, but he doesn't reply, plunging his axe into the nearest dredge before kicking it over to the side of the bridge. Come on, he screams at the black horde. Cursing, you rush to his side in battle. Damn, so we just lost fucking Basalt, which is rough. Oh, because we didn't want to blow up the bridge early. Damn. Oh, she does not have shit for move speed or movement. Ouchies. One looks like it's gonna be a little rough. The big guys all have a fuck ton of armor. No, that's not ideal. I would like my guys to not be losing fucking armor right now. Hey, we got a dodge. Nice. Get him, Rook. Can we not attack Alette, you ass fuck? The rudest fucking thing you could have done. Ivan, you're taking kind of a beating there. Oof. Alright. Thank you for going for the armor shot, not like damage there, homie. Can you heal yourself? You cannot. Interesting. Noted. Alright. Get him, Alette. Hell yeah. Enough of this, groans Ivor, who seems to have snapped out of his daze. This is getting us nowhere. You follow as he climbs the stairs and throws open the doors of the great hall. Ingvar, glad to see you well. You swear you catch a note of trepidation in the king's voice. You're under enough. This fight cannot be won. Again, this, I'll be damned if that bridge falls during my reign. You'll let our whole race die. We'll all be gone someday, Ingvar. I need not tell you. There are no more Varl being made tomorrow or 1,000 years from now. We are it. And I will not destroy what we have made. Would you leave no trace of us when we're gone, as if we never existed? I know this, but yours is one voice of many. I know that the Varl are equal. The days of the Kinder are over. I ask these Varl, all there is left in the world, to follow me and live another day. Who do you think they will choose? The weight of the air in the great hall becomes so thick it nearly suffocates you. The silence continues for ages. Go on. Take the mender, destroy the bridge. Do it and leave. Take whoever would join you and do not return to my city. The alliance of man and Varl is through. Ivor is almost through the door before Jorundur has finished his sentence. Led by Ivor, the Varl push hard one last time against the dredge, till there's room enough for Ivan to take position and start raining down lightning bolts on the bridge supports. Before long, the masonry is a shattered mess and begins to give under its own weight. Varl and dredge alike race to escape the collapse. When the dust clears, there's a gulf between you and the furious dredge. They won't be crossing this way. You've gotten what you wanted, says Jorundur. Now leave. If I ever see man or mender again, it'll be too soon. Ivan tells you, Juno will be waiting for us in Sigerholm. Despite the end of the immediate threat, many Varl choose to join Ivor instead of following Jorundur. You depart with a long caravan at your heels. Chapter 6. Of our bones, the hills. We're up and we're off and away we go. Womp, 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 womp. While walking, the words of a mother's song reach you. It's soothing, nuanced, and about your current journey. When she finishes, a man begins a tale of his own in verse. The woman quickly responds with another poem, and the entire caravan slows to listen to the entertaining competition. We could join the crowd and cheer on the competitors. We need to stay vigilant, ignore the poetry contest, and keep an eye out for your ear. Fuck it, join in. The whole caravan is shocked when the first line of your poem rings out. You mimic both contestants, adding your own spin on their tales. At last, you end with a joke at your own expense, and the peasants wildly applaud. Yay, morale improvement. Morale decline. A scout returns with a nearly frozen child. I almost stepped on her in the snow. Looks like she must have been running from something, he says. Patches of blue mottle her pale skin. Her chest rises and falls ever so slightly. Even just carrying her along could kill her in a state like this, says the woman. We can be in danger, points out another. We gotta keep moving. Let the healers tend to her. Fighters stay alert for any threat while the caravan moves on. The healers rub the girl's arms and legs under blankets to no avail. An hour later, one healer approaches you with tears in her eyes. She says nothing, only shakes her head. I'm the map, I'm the map. It appears that large figures following from the direction of Einertoft. Oddleaf watches intently before finally saying, I have a cart. I can hear it. You slow to get a better view and spy a small caravan of Varl. Eventually, they catch up. Greetings, Ivor. It's been quite a while since we talked, hasn't it? Welcome back, Ubin. I know you, Ubin. Never imagined you'd be one to defy the king. What made you leave? Someone had to. What do you mean? Bellower is heading this way. Already? How is that possible? A group of Varl from Wormtoe showed up around the back of Einertoft the long way. Bellower and his army chased them across the summer path, they said. Past Wormtoe? That doesn't make sense. Bellower was at the bridge. He must have doubled back after the serpent appeared. While we fought on the bridge, he led half his forces around to approach Einertoft from behind. The attack on the bridge was a feint? Don't let anyone tell you the dredge aren't clever. Einertoft will fall within a day. Maybe not. He's following you. I thought one of you might know why. You exchange nervous glances, but nobody speaks up. Must be me then. Is there something I don't know? It's quite a grudge she's holding if he's coming for you, Ivor. It doesn't matter. Our only chance is to get to Sigerholm. Juno will know what to do. We'll join you. I come bearing supplies and wares who would be happy to kill a dredge or two, I believe. Oh no, morale's kind of meh. The caravan stops at a split in the road. Ahead, the path leading to Sigerholm veers off into the hills, which are now swimming with familiar black shapes. Dredge that way too, grimaces Ivan. The summer path leads straight to Sigerholm, while taking the main road will add several days. They're every way by now, replies Ubin. I suggest we go around past Hoaxstorp. Send scouts to see how dangerous it is. You know what? Let's go with Ubin's suggestion. I hate to say it, you tell Ivan, but I'm not willing to walk into swarms of dredge anymore. Juno will have to wait. You turn toward the long round around Hoaxstorp instead, hoping you save the lives in process. Fucking problem is, there's goddamn dredge every fucking where we go. Nothing's gonna be safe or fast. A group of men with broad shoulders and thick cloaks approach the caravan. They might be outlaws you hear nearby, and the idea quickly ripples through the clansmen. One of the strangers approaches, saying, "We've run out of food. Any help would be welcome." His hard eyes reveal nothing of his motivations. You consider how you want to approach this. Offer no food, but inform them of the dredge, ask them to come, how they came to be, fight with us, and earn your food. Fight with us and earn. Men look surprised by your offer. In short order, they join the caravan and start sharing tales and drinks. Unfortunately, it is less than a day later that you discover they vanished with a sizable portion of your supplies. You fuck nuggets. All right, try to be nice. Try to be fucking, cooperative with people, and apparently not. You enter a village of miners who want to know what has been happening recently between the grumblings of the quake and sighting of a dredge in the distance. As you look around, you see a lot of elderly and children, and know that these people will only be more mouths to feed. Let them make their own decision. You welcome anyone who wishes to join the caravan. Many do, while others choose to stay in their homes and see things through. You wish them luck. Dun, 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 dun. Ooh, that'd be dope as fuck to grab. Okay. Alright. Alrighty, and onward we go. Bum bum ba da 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 da. Look at that, shots one of your clansmen. The caravan stops to watch dredge pulling into the village you just passed through. I hope anyone who stayed behind got out alive, says Alette, but you have your doubts. They're coming, says Ivor, pointing at one line of dredge leaving the village and marching towards you. As you watch, the dredge in the front falls over, then the one behind it falls. You hear a twang to your left. Nid, the archery student of Oddleaf's, who you recall deftly shooting in Snow Rapid, is firing arrows down the hill. Another dredge topples. That's incredible, says Oddleaf, squinting. But we should get out of here. Odds right, let's go. But why don't you come with us the next time you want to try out that bow, you tell Nid, who nods with a smile on her face. Put a smile on your face. Some clansmen have discovered a large patch of wild fruit. When you approach, you see some people have begun to sample them. Mother frets about whether they're safe or after overhearing one of the children say that it tastes funny. Others start gathering by the basket pool. Observe someone who's already ate some. After a short time, you notice the third speech of the young man partaking the fruit. Besides a little drunk, he seems perfectly fine. Yeah. Many clansmen follow your lead while others continue eating and collecting. Later that day, a few fruit-stained peasants stumble around with drunken grins. Apparently the fruit was fermented, not poisonous. Yeah. Still rather be careful about that shit. Ooh, morale's getting shitty. Another stone. What are these called? Shit. Godstones. The Godstone of Dunder passes around you. In the frozen climates here, it looks like the rock is split and is falling apart, held together only by the deep snow. Curiously, when standing between the stones, the wind drops off completely, picking up again once you have passed through. I almost wondered if we should rest here for the night, says Ivor, who seems to have noticed the same thing. With all the snow around it, Dredge might even be able to find us. You know what? You walk around the camp before settling in. Along each strand of Dunder's massive beard is carved a different part of his story. And you turn your head to and fro to read it. While the Loom Mother was the first to create, she soon found a counterpart in Dunder, who embodied her ideals in a masculine form. Dunder took some of her creations, gave them beards, and showed them the secrets of smithing, though many remember him just as fondly for teaching them games and songs of mirth. As the camp settles in, you notice a group of boys huddled around something. They show you an offering box carved into the godstone itself. The box is an elaborate construction of interlocking pieces which slide around when touched. We can't get it open, they tell you. It's like a puzzle. The boys take turns working out the puzzle and give you tips when it's your turn. Though you don't seem to make much progress, eventually they leave to sleep until it's you and a couple other determined youngsters. It's hard to know how long you spend sliding around the smooth puzzle pieces, but when people begin emerging from their tents, you know that you're in trouble. Exhausted from a long sleepless night, or still, the box remains closed as you shuffle wearily. Oof. Morale is getting dog shit. Yeah, I might try to rest here a couple days. Stop, a resolute voice calls from somewhere in the front of you. The surrounding terrain comes alive with armed fighters surrounding the caravan. No need for bloodshed, the leader says. Leave a couple wagons and pretend you never even stopped here. Inform him about the dredge. I'm guessing you have no idea the dredge are on their way. Shout, if that's the case, friends, says the leader, we need those supplies more than ever. Alright, dick fucks. These guys are about to get wrecked. It's risky, but fuck it. take out the back line. Fuck your archers. Damn, he did a lot of just health damage on that one. That's a little rude and unfortunate. I swear, if I lose Ivor because I keep just beating up on him for no fucking reason. I have to back him off. Leaf, I really wish you weren't staying there because this is gonna hurt you, isn't it? Nope. But it does highlight units that are gonna get hit by your abilities and shit. In the distance, Hoaxtorp smolders like an old campfire. Even from here, you can see the black figure shambling through it. That looks like a dead town, remarks Ivor, confirming your impressions. There's usually survivors, oddly reminds you. I hope others would do the same for me. Dredge are nothing we haven't faced before, Ivor grunts, but otherwise says nothing. Besides, it might throw Bellower off the scent a bit. You head a day's march out toward Hoaxtorp. As soon as you step foot in the small town, you think you've made a mistake. It's thoroughly littered with corpses. Then moments the dredge are upon you as though you stirred up an angry hornet's nest. Yeah, she really doesn't have much in the way of being a lot more useful other than maybe a higher item. Bum, 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 bum. Oh yeah, the whole turn order is determined by the order at which they're like deployed. I keep forgetting that. I really gotta figure out how to fucking position myself better on the arc lightning. Hell yeah. If I reposition this way. No, but it's still just good. Okay, so diag isn't touching diag. Got it. Hurt. Yo, that's not ideal. I swear to God if he dies. He should only be injured. It's still annoying as shit, though. Fucking turn order bullshit. Or you might not get injured because it's easy mode. This town is nothing but ghosts and now covered in more dredge bodies too. Remarkably, as you're about to leave, you find an old man sitting quietly in a tattered market stall with a couple items in front of him. He humps himself as if nothing were wrong and seems to be in shock. The clansmen gather him into the caravan before you go. I don't know if we've ever spoken. I'm Mid, you're Rook, I know. We've actually been traveling together for a long time. Isn't it strange how you can be so close to people and not know them? Every day I pass people I swear I've never seen before. I wanted to thank you for letting me join you. Have you always been such a good shot? Honestly, I never even tried before Odd Leaf made me. I spent my whole life making clothes, cleaning. Odd Leaf's good, but I don't think it was all her doing. Feels right. I just look where I want it to go. Anyway, I feel better. The caravan, the people worrying all day and making problems. Sometimes they really stew in their misery. I'm glad I can do something helpful. Where are you from? I don't think you're from Skoger. I knew most of the people there. No, I had a house in Frostfeller, but we were driven out when the dredge started to show up. My husband died trying to protect our home. My sons and I were thrown out into the fields. I'm sorry. Eckel's men killed my husband. Now Eckel is traveling with us. For a long time I was angry. Why did he get to live? Why did he decide for the rest of us? You look away momentarily, not sure what to say, but I've let it go. I have 3 sons, and I don't want them to grow up with the hatred in their hearts. That's why I wanted to thank you. You're welcome. I should be gone. Don't think anything of it. We all have our own problems to deal with. Let me know if you need something to put an arrow in. Need to put an arrow in something. She returns to her tent where her boys are waiting for her. a lot of days to waste, but morale being as dog shit as it is, kind of necessary. Up ahead, a scout shouts some giant hall, but it's empty. You approach the structure, but recognize none of the markings. The walls seem unsteady at best. Finally, sleeping beneath a roof, you overhear several families begin unpacking. Keep everyone back until you're certain it's safe. Several volunteers search the building with weapons drawn just as they announcing all clear. Varl leans against his support, which gives way, and a third of the structure crumbles. Luckily, no one is injured, but you leave the crumbling building behind. Another godstone. The godstone for Ingrid, goddess of knowledge, looks on as the caravan takes a much needed rest. Ivor shoos some children away from the solitary dredge slinger lying dead beneath the stone. Should we be worried about that? You ask Ivor, pointing to the dredge. I don't think so, he replies. Still couldn't hurt to have a few guards look around. Hours pass without warning. Ingrid's godstone is carved with ancient runes which don't make much sense to you. Though Ivan tells you some of the menders have deciphered them. It's how the menders learn the language of the gods. Past the largest stone, a long series of slabs contain more writing all the way down the hill. The odd thing, he tells you, is that the writing occasionally changes depending on who is reading it. Usually it describes the history of the gods, but it can be read about nearly any topic. Sadly, Ivan doesn't know how to read it himself. Juno could, he says. As you're riding to part, you hear screams from the near the main godstone. The same boys so curious about the dead dredge before are shrieking and pointing. For a moment, you think it might not have been dead, but then you see they have opened a wrapping that was in the dredge's hands. Wait, says Ivor, his arm across your chest. This shouldn't be seen. Get everyone away. A chill sweeps over you. Alette pushes past and gasps. Stop, shouts Ivor, but the curious onlookers have already seen it. Leave it. On the ground before the dead slinger is a small, stony figure. Its hands searching for something it can't find. That's a baby. That dredge is a woman? We've been killing women. We've been slaughtering women and children this whole time? Leaving them to die? In a war, it's only the males who fight. We've been fighting the dredge the whole way. Why are women with children on their backs attacking us? They're not invading. They're running. Everyone stops dead in their tracks. The entire caravan is gathered around, aghast. When I spoke to Juno, she told me something was coming. She didn't know what. A darkness, something black is covering the world, and the dredge are running from it just as we're running from them. The serpent, the quake, it's all the beginning of the end. Ivor, you knew. Why? Why didn't you say something? Ivor, when I was young, I killed one of the Sunder during the Second Great War. We called it Rays. Every time we would build our defenses, it would flatten them and push us back again. I became separated from the rest of the Varl and stumbled upon Rays deep in a snowstorm, alone. She was nursing. I threw my axe. It twisted in the wind. Her son died in her arms. She was so pathetic, kneeling in the snow. She didn't even try to stop me when I took her head. That's how I killed the Sunder. When I found my way to Grofheim, the Varl wanted to make me Kender, next to be king. I left, walked until I ended up in Skoger, where no one knew what I had done. The only sound is the wind blowing through the trees. For a long time, nobody says a thing until a child breaks the silence. What do we do with the baby, she asks. A lump forms in your throat, looking at the small obsidian creature squirming before you. Put it to a vote. While some grumble about leaving it to chance, the caravan votes pretty clearly in favor of leaving the infant behind. It remains beneath the godstone as the caravan departs. You try to put the whole episode from your mind and focus now on reaching Sigerholm. Ka-chow. Okay, you're making the usual rounds when you hear a rather loud debate coming from the area that Varl have gathered. Ivor joins you as you approach. Ubin, you'd rather be known for falling asleep and dying in the corner of a meat house than battling asunder. No, I'd rather be known for not dying. Don't even know what you're worried about. I did this 100 times in the Great Wars. Take some warriors, plow headfirst into the dredge. They follow you into the hills, get lost. Now they're not following you. When you did this 100 times, did they have Bellower leading them? Have you never heard about the time I hit Bellower in the head with a throwing axe? Both Varl halt their debate when they suddenly notice you watching. You're planning to confront the dredge. Careful, my friend. A lot of old history getting thrown around here. The warriors were just noting that there's a damn good number of dredge on our asses. Bellower pulling up the rear. This one thinks he can just wander up there and throw them off our tracks. How about some gratitude? Thought you'd be happy to finally be the oldest Varl in the land, Ubin. I'm never happy to lose more Varl, Crummer. Besides, I'm not convinced you're really older than me. Old rivalry we've got here. Comments like that remind me I've already wasted too much time doing nothing. In the old days, I'd already be halfway to the battlefield by now. Speaking of which, you coming, Ingvar? You could ask Bellower for your arm back. Don't think so. Not exactly in the mood right now. All right then. I'll tell Hatterborg. You said hello. Crummer and a good many Varl head out toward the growing army of dredge. Is he gonna come back? He always has before. This time feels different, I fear. Boom. There's this like drumming sound in the distance. Thieving bastards awakened here. The small band of outlaws who had previously joined the caravan made off with a substantial number of supplies. Everyone was left, a watchman tells you. Why in the depths were they allowed to join us to begin with? Didn't that already happen? I swear, like a bunch of that gather around Doubters, echoes a shout in the distance as Crummer and his band of warriors break through the nearby foliage and behold the invincible Varl. The caravan is thrilled to see Crummer return safely. Did the plan work? Asked Ubin. Work? Responds Crummer. Of course it worked. Same old dredge. Should be another day or two at least before they find their own asses. And if you apologize, I'll tell how I found these, Crummer says, tossing a pair of old leather gloves that look big enough for a Varl. He leans in close, whispering so Ubin can't hear. Has something to do with a raven's nest and a hair tie.
As Sigurholm approaches, we fear the worst. The once calm lake surrounding it now looks like a bowl that has been flipped. Proud home sinking into muddy water. A side effect of the quake. What has the rest of the world become on the other side of those mountains?
One catastrophe to another, says Oddleaf as you pull into Sigurholm. Town appears to be sinking into the lake. Townspeople peek from dark windows and make shift hovels further up the hill. No, says Ivan, looking frantic. Where is she? He runs to the front of the caravan, looking out over the water. Juno isn't here, and you get the creeping feeling you're not welcome either. Going upriver looks out of the question. The beach is bare, aside from the occasional skeleton of ruined fishing boat. He reluctantly set up camp in the sinking town. All I'm saying is, how long are you willing to wait? While taking stock of Caravan, you're inadvertently walked into a debate between Oddleaf and Ivan. As long as we need to. And I think we need to get out of here. I don't feel good about this place. Why? What's wrong? Something doesn't feel right. The people are staring at us like those vultures in the waste. I'm sorry, Ivan. I think Oddleaf is right. I saw a man the whole time we were setting up. He was just watching me. In a creepy way. Long before the dredge find us here. Juno will come. Just give it a little more time. Rook, listen to me. I need you to trust me on this. And I think the major part of this one is waiting for Juno. All right, I gotta pee real quick, but I'll be back. Hold on. Let's see, heroes, market. Market. Oof. Okay, this is her final level up, isn't it? What does she have equipped right now? 3 break. Okay. Okay. 1 sec. Yeah, fucking Christ. Alright. Alright. Let's talk to Ivan. You're really worried about her, aren't you? What? Oh, Juno? Worry doesn't begin to describe it. She doesn't find us here or something has happened to her. Are you sure what you saw was real? It could have been a dream, or I don't know. You were pretty exhausted. I don't know, to be honest. I'm not sure anymore. Everything is a blur. Don't tell the others I said that. I have to hope it wasn't a dream. What's it like to be a mender? How does weaving work? Why is Bellower following us? would like to be a mender. Being a mender, I guess I never really thought about it like that. It's just a part of me. They knew from very young that I would join the order. Born into it, you could say. My mother and father, both menders. The guild is for lots of people now, builders and healers. Do they all pull lightning out of the sky? No, that's not normal. It's one of the reasons I know Juno. She's one of the council. She helps me control things like this, so we don't end up scaring people. How exactly does weaving work anyway? Well, the hardest part is usually seeing the threads. Everything is part of the tapestry. It's made of threads woven together. If you can see the threads, you can manipulate them. I don't know how to explain it really. It's like trying to play a harp with invisible strings. Look at my staff, for example. Some menders carve intricate patterns in the wood to help them remember the shapes of, or like I said, hard to explain. Why is Bellower still following us? Saw Grofheim isn't burned. Ivan gets a faraway look in his eyes. The Sunder blew through it like a tempest. The Varl fell in thousands. Most of the Sunder left the city and headed south. Who knows where they are now? They might be destroying every town they come to or heading toward Arborang. Bellower stayed in Grofheim just for the sport of it, I think. As we fled to Einertoft, I thought he must want to wipe the Varl off the map completely. But then he came after us. Maybe he knew Ivor was the one who killed Reyes. Maybe, but let's just make sure he doesn't catch up. Do you think this is the end of times? I don't know. I don't know what to think. I wish I could give you a better answer. Even if we escape the dredge, that serpent set of darkness is covering the world. I don't know how long that will take, or what it means even. I'm just trying to solve one problem at a time. The Menders are in Arborang. If we can find ships and make it to the capital, we might have a chance. You think about what you want to say? I won't take any more time. No, it's okay, Rook. I appreciate the talk. It's good to stay grounded. I spend all day worrying about serpents or Sunder. I think a lot of people are intimidated or scared maybe of me. Don't worry, it's nothing new. I'm used to it. Maybe sometime we can talk about things that don't include the world ending. Yeah, maybe something a little bit more, I don't know, happy. A scuffle has broken out in front of the houses. Thief shots one of your people as a group of strangers flee from your camp. Oddleaf is already running in the direction they took her supplies. Let them go, you shout before anyone rushes off. Better keep what we have than chase after something that's gone. Townspeople to continue to peek from the windows and around corners, but nobody makes another swipe at your supplies. Wonder how many days I should dress. A random assortment of people from the caravan confront you. Listen, says one. We don't feel safe here. I don't know anything about menders or whatever, but we're going to leave and I hope you'll join us. Looks like a couple dozen people. Farmers and fighters alike feel the same way. Wish them well. You give them their blessing, but you explain why you can't leave just yet. You don't know where they're going, but hopefully you'll meet them again on the road as they start to trek back across dry land. Rule of threes, I guess. All right, how many days can I... Oof. All right, I'm gonna look it up. If there's a certain number of days I can wait. To go. Da -da -da -da. Da -da -da. Da -da -da. Okay, yeah, so it just says you'll never find her. Rook, wait, please, Ivan begs. She said she'd be here. We need her. You can tell he's terrified of her leaving, as though he's been given up on Juno. I'm sure she'll catch up. Ivan looks out across the lake with a 1,000-mile stare. He says nothing. Ivan looks out across the lake with a 1,000-mile stare. He says nothing. Got problems, says Ivor. The whole place is flooded. We can try to walk the muddy parts, but it'll be slow going. We could try to float the caravan over the lake, but we might might tip or get stuck. Or we could go around the whole thing, but no idea how long that'll take. You leave Sigerholm and start to feel your way around the flooded area, which has washed out the road completely. You continue far into the wood area, which slows you down even further. Already committed, you hope you didn't make a grave mistake. You leave Sigerholm in a hurry, hoping to outpace the dredge that must be close behind. As you continue further south, you first hit overgrowth, and then forest before finding land is dry enough to follow back around. By the time you circumvented the mud, you've lost a lot of time and hope it doesn't haunt you later. More supplies missing. The woman by a wagon says to you, and look, tracks right here. They look like children's footprints, but my husband and I follow them into the wilderness a ways to meet up with some adult tracks. No telling how many. Send scouts look for anyone following you. You round up some volunteers who depart quietly. Then they return that evening with reports of a few tracks that ultimately led nowhere. Someone may be trying to hide their tracks, but they don't have time to continue the search. As you're about to head off to sleep for the night, ONF pulls you to the side. I have a couple concerns I wanted to speak to you about, he says in private. What's on your mind? How well do you know the people traveling with us? How many strangers are in the caravan now? Who are you worried about? I've been watching folks since I joined you. Your companions from Soger, they're loyal. And it seems pretty clear that they died to protect you. I suppose I'd do the same. What about the Varl? You don't even know half those warriors. You're telling me they have no problem following a man's orders now, after everything that happened in Einertoff? I trust Ivor to handle it. He's fearless, I'll give you that. But look at him. He's run ragged. He can't be there all the time. What happens to the first time the Varl don't want to do what you tell them? If Crummer gave the word, I guaranteed at least half would. To be honest, they could take this caravan by force anytime if they wanted to. I've got no choice but to trust them. Gotta disagree with that, Rook. We always have a choice. They're not the biggest problem, though. There's a mender with us. A mender who pulls lightning out of the sky and tells us what to do and where to go. Myself, I think we lucked out when his mentor didn't show up in Sigerholm. Ivan's just the apprentice. What in the depths is his master capable of? Think about it, Rook. What do you really know about Ivan? I heard that they were found practically dead in the middle of nowhere when the dredge started showing up. Then an enormous serpent shows up at Einertoff after tearing the world in half. Takes one look at Ivan and bolts. Suddenly they need our help instead of the Mender Council. How does that make any damn sense? You make some valid points. Points you should have made on your own. I'm grateful for what you've done to get us this far, Rook, but I've always been about trust. I think it's time to part ways, so to speak. Nothing personal. Suddenly you gasp for air, you look down. ONF is holding a knife buried between your ribs. Fucking really? Your vision blurs and blood fills your sight. You gasp again. There's a bird whistle and a camp becomes a blur of motion. ONF's fighters from Fossbell leap into action, cutting people down. As Oddleaf turns to fire on the men, ONF runs her through and pulls the blade from her back without even breaking into stride. She drops like a sack of flour in one clean motion. His blade then takes Eagle in the throat before the boy can grab his shield. ONF heads straight for Let, who freezes in unbridled terror. You rise to your feet through the pain. Eagle and Oddleaf are dead. Somehow you find the strength to cleave the nearest traitor in two, but you can't find the breath to shout. You think your lungs might have been punctured. ONF clutches Let's wrist amidst the commotion, tosses her bow to the side and pulls her deep into the woods. Her eyes meet yours across the campfire. No, her lips say, though you can't hear the words. Her A dozen men appear between you as Ivor steps into view, as fearsome as you've ever seen him. Well, this is a great fucking moment in time where I'm losing so many fucking people. Everything's fucked. Fucking dick bag. All right. God, this game is brutal. Even on easy, this game feels brutal as fuck. I want to know why I can't really hurt him. Alright, fuck you guys. Okay. Okay. There we go. Where is Alette? Shouts Ivor, tearing through the nearest bandit, but you're already hobbling into the deep woods where they disappeared, ignoring the battle raging behind you. In a haze of pain, you start to think that you've lost her tracks. Then you hear Alette screaming in the distance, followed by silence. You tear through the trees. In a small clearing, Alette lies with her back against a tree. Her hands and her clothing are covered in blood. She stares vacantly ahead, unblinking. Beside her is the body of Onef, an arrow buried in his right eye, as if placed there by hand. She looks in her direction as at Onef. I killed him, she says. Alette, are you all right? He cringes much from the pain as the appearance of Alette after her bloody struggle with Onef. No, I'm not hurt. I had no choice. Dad, your chest, you're bleeding. Suddenly she's at your side, putting pressure on the wound. I can fix this. Where's my needle? Oddly, if anyone. I've found him. Just as your sight goes black, you see Ivor and Alette standing over you. He's gonna make it? Your eyes open to the sound of Alette's voice. Normally a loon like that? I only hope I did enough. I'll survive. Dad. Alette stops herself from hugging your bandaged chest, pulling your head to her. Pulling your head to her instead. The words come out easier than expected. Oddly, It's a good thing Ivan was here. She's gonna pull through, though it was a nasty wound. We managed to kill most of those traitors' sons of bitches, and the rest fled into the woods. There were a lot of people I couldn't save. You did everything. You did everything you could, Ivan. Nobody expects you to raise the dead. Ivan frowns deeply, putting a hand to his forehead. Why did Onef do this, Rook? He was talking to you right before this happened. He thought my leadership would get us killed. Utter bastard. All this time we had no idea. Echo killed a good half dozen of Onef's men by himself. He told me Onef was running Frostfeller the whole time. He left Frostfeller behind when he saw a better opportunity. Guess that relationship isn't over. Echo was always just the barking dog you put in the road to find out who your enemies are. It was no accident Onef went after those of us from Skoger. He must have thought with us gone he'd take the banner and the rest would fall in line. Or at worst, they'd take all the supplies for themselves and leave the rest as dredge bait. We have to be more careful. We can't just let anyone join the caravan anymore. Where do you draw the line, Ivor? I don't know, Rook. I really don't. None of this changes the fact that Beller's out there somewhere following us. That swamp around Sigerholm might buy us time, but we've got to keep moving. Your body aches all over, but Ivor's right. The road calls. The caravan is already starting to pack up camp. All right. Look who it is, still not dead. Our things, Rook. Can never guess with you, Echo. I heard you to help drive off the traitors when Onef attacked. And it leaves me always wondering, what's your deal? I'm not so hard to understand. Why don't you try asking instead of telling? We could use a good fighter. Could have killed a lot more of them without my hands bound, if that's what you mean. So, Rook, I don't have to be your prisoner anymore. So you're going to let me walk around with my own axe and everything? That doesn't mean I'm not watching you. I can accept that. You're a good man. Why did you stick with him? I don't know, Rook. Family makes you do weird things. You know what the worst part is? We became kin when he married my sister. She died of a fever one night. But she didn't. She wasn't sick. He killed her. I don't know why he did it. Maybe he just felt it. I was so furious. I got so angry that I wanted him to beg. I could kill him without a second thought. But that wasn't enough. I want him to feel sick about it. Puke his guts out. Somehow that turned into overtime. He never cared, and I gave up, and I did what he wanted. Don't know how it happened, but when I attacked you in Frostfeller, I guess I'll just say it wasn't my idea. Didn't I? How many times did I call him a traitor before you got the message? What do you want me to say? Watch out, Onef's gonna murder your whole family? He didn't fill me in on the details. He was always like that. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if he tried to convince you to off me, but listen, I don't need to know, so keep it to yourself. You're not the only busy man around here, you know. How was the wound? You notice Oddleaf wince as she rises to greet you. It's doing a lot better. When I saw it happen, I thought for sure, well, I'm glad you would have missed me, Rook. She smiles. Without Ivan, that's all you could have done. Instead, you'll have to put up with my crap a little longer. It still aches like you wouldn't believe, though. Oh, maybe you would. I heard you took a stabbing yourself. I guess things could have gone worse. How are you doing? I'm doing all right. Sometimes it's lonely since my husband died. I guess I'd say it's more like being alone, even surrounded by all these people. Not like I don't have enough to worry about, though. I'm glad to have a lad around. And you, Rook. What do you think about the caravan? You mean, should we start kicking people out? That's a tough one. Usually I'd be the first one to give you a dirty look for suggesting it. On the other hand, I got a sword in my back. I'll leave things for a long moment for sighing. Don't send anyone away. Just make sure nothing happens to Alette. I'll let you get some rest. I'll take you up on that. You know, you're welcome to keep my company. When I'm a little more awake, I mean. I'll talk to you later. Alright. And we're off. You notice most of the Varl pacing while they're asleep. Their brief conversations with each other and other clansmen grow shorter and sharper. Go away, roars one Varl at a young girl, asking him too many questions. All the clansmen stop and serve. Let's tell a joke. I think you just ruined her dream of marrying a Varl boy. You say, timing your smile just right. The giant grins, then throws back his head with a booming laughter. Other Varl join in the mirth, and the caravan feels a bit uplifted for it. The giant explains, we live in the north for its space, endless miles of snow, ice, mountains, fields, space to be alone. But here there is no time for such things. Understanding slowly trickles through the caravan, relieving some of the tension. The villagers here are completely oblivious to the destruction that is coming, and all we've seen is some dark figures far off. They tell you, aside from a few young families that are reluctant to pick up their things and join you. Da, 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 da. A boy has gone missing from the caravan, along with a good number of supplies. The boy's younger brother begins to sob. Some men in the woods made us, said we had to give him food or they'll kill us. And don't tell anybody. My brother went over there, he points. Now two groups, one on each side, you instruct. They head out as you try to calm the parents. Much later, the fighters return, bloody and with the boy's body. We cut them down, but we couldn't save the boy. Damn. That's unfortunate. A well-tended farm with plenty of livestock draws the caravan's attention. Upon your arrival, the farmer and his workers stand defensively within plain sight. Crude weapons at the ready. Their crossed arms make their thoughts clear without a word. Offer some. No big surprise. You'd be more interested in the animals than me and mine. The answer's no. I'll have these men watching you. What's his is his, you say to the caravan. No sense fighting those trying to protect themselves. Grumbling bounces around through the clansmen, but the caravan is once again moving. Guess I should have offered to join the fucking caravan. Another godstone. The imposing godstone of Beowulf approaches. His severe visage makes it feel like he's watching you even now. The caravan spreads out, happy to be free of the confining force in open fields. Hogan pulls you aside to show you some red berries growing on ash trees that look like it was chopped down long ago. These shouldn't be growing here, he says excitedly. I haven't seen these in a long time. He and Mogan busily go about collecting the berries. In fact, in honor of Beowulf, some of the caravan crack kegs of meat and wine before anyone can stop them. To the only god that matters, they shout. Everyone drinks and you're glad for the merriment that swept over the caravan. Join Hogan and collecting berries. What exactly are these, you ask Hogan. When I would travel to Guard with my father. Sometimes he'd buy us a few of these, Hogan replies. Couldn't be luckier, fine. See it for yourself. You try one and it can feel energy returning to you and your tired limbs. Not taking a few more would be a wasted opportunity, you figure. The hours become late. The caravan is eventually ready to get back on the road. The day by Bureau Stone is one full of memories that hasn't been tarnished by the specter of bad fortune, you think to yourself. The caravan consists of more clansmen than you ever expected. Accusations of stolen chickens, missing heirlooms, and concerns over daughters' virtues are the sort of things you hear relentlessly. Even fighters complain about spreading too thin to protect everyone. Form a council? Probably. Let's form a council. You select a few older members to solve everyday issues, but infighting neuters their progress. Other members feel they could do a better job. Ultimately, while it buys some time, the council dissolves, tired of the thankless and demanding work.
Rainweek is more of a smattering of farmhouses than a proper town. Though judging by stray dredge stalking through empty fields, it is barely even that anymore.
Renovik comes and goes as a long series of farmhouses. Abandoned and crawling with dredge, the farmers have probably already fled to Guard. You try to hurry past, but eventually spotted dredge start ambling in your direction. What is that? Points oddly up near one of the longhouses. In the distance, a large person, clothes seemingly covered in blood, is cursing loudly and stumbling about. He staggers into a longhouse, laughing. The dredge heading in your direction turn back, roaring, and begin to pound on the longhouse door. They seem to be holding a grudge against this particular person. You doubt the door will hold long. Let's help. Against my better judgment, we should probably do something, you say. The others agree, even though it means putting them all at risk. As you quietly approach, the dredge have managed to splinter the door and break through. Hey, shouts of Arl, wearing all red, standing on the other side of the dredge. Come all the way up here just for me? He seems unconcerned about the dredge as he hoists his enormous sword. Sigbjorn. Oh, you got. Take out big boy. Oh yeah, I don't have Ivan. We left him behind because he wanted to wait for Juno. Less than ideal. smarter, I'd probably continue to whittle away at the bigger guys before taking out the sling. Hey, we got a dodge. Nice. There we go. Good round of combat. Welcome to my mead house. Sigbjorn's house of mead. Wasn't expecting Varl this far south or this drunk. I can see that. There are people huddled in the corners of the mead hall looking on with uneasiness. Who are all these who are you people? No, they're friends. They made this place. It's not really mine. You lured Dredge back to a room full of unarmed people? What is wrong with you? Come on, I saved everyone in here. They shared some fine drink, the best drink. Wait, I was saving your ass. Remember that part? If you knew that you'd come up here, you could have told me. What do we do with this guy? How much meat is left? The townspeople show you a huge stack of barrels filled with quality meat and help you haul them back to the caravans. I'll miss this place. Good memories. With some help, you gather up the casks of meat and head back to the caravan. Sigbjorn and the other survivors in tow. The caravan gives the boisterous Varl a large berth as you set out for Borsgard. Ugh, what did I do? Sigbjorn wakes in a pool of his own sick. Why am I surrounded by small people? The other clansmen let him sleep off his drunken stupor on the ground, and this morning, he's paying the price. Help him recover. Reluctantly, your clansmen offer food and drink. They can scour together for the moaning Varl. When one offers thin mead, he pushes away. In fact, take this away from me, he says, handing you his massive mead stein. Eventually, Sigbjorn comes to you. I won't get into details. I was supposed to bring those casks from Renovik back to Borsgard. I drink maybe half by accident. Point is, Sigbjorn continues, you don't tell anybody what happened, and I won't tell anyone about the meat you got, okay? Trust me on this one. You agree and get back to travel. Oof, our fucking morale just dipped. Harsh words from one mother to another draw the attention of the entire caravan. My daughter marries Ragni or no one. That thin-reed tramp you call a daughter won't provide sons. The insulted mother bares his teeth, ready to act. Ragni chooses my daughter as on his own, the insulted mother says, but this one thinks I have something to do with it. Launching forward, the first woman flails wildly, shouting liar. The women are separated and eventually calm down, but you worry that this is far from over. Alright. We got a fucking camp. I ain't got morale. Ugh. It doesn't seem like we're too far from Borsgard, but do need to fucking get some morale. Alright, let's get on the road again. As you're nodding off to sleep, shouts of fire pull you back to attention. Flames quickly consume a supply wagon and a few tents. A woman cries out, "My boy," and points to her burning tent closest to the outlying Varl. Two of the giants are motionless, staring at the spreading fire with terror in their eyes. Ooh, I feel like this is gonna hurt. Wrapping your cloak around you, the smoke and flames in the tent become blurry as you grab the boy and slice through the back canvas with your hunting knife. You meet the ashamed look of the older Varl while the crowd cheers on your heroic act. Unfortunately, the supply wagon did not make it. What in the depths was that about? You mutter to yourself. Something about fire, Oddleaf tells you. I've heard of this before. They don't like it. Doesn't change what happened, you think to yourself. Well, fucking supplies are fucked.
As we pass steep cliffs, the sprawl of Boersgard comes into view. A city of contrasting rich and poor, opportunity and gamble. Our best hope for salvation, or our graves.
Finally, you arrive at Boersgard, where the walls stretch for miles in both directions and are littered with the bodies of Dredge, Varl, and men. Excuse the mess, shouts a voice from above the gates. Looking up, you spy striking Varl, his face wreathed with the matted black hair. Movements at the gate catches your eye. Dredge are still banging at the gate doors without luck. Let us in, you shout. Sigbjorn pushes past. I won't be hearing the end of this for a while, he says before yelling. Open up, Volverk. They dug me out of the Renevik. You hear a laugh echoing on the wind as their orders creak. A dozen armed men led by a massive Varl make quick work of the Dredge and usher you into the city. You may be interested to know that they brought a mender. You didn't go to get a mender? Where's the mead? Sigbjorn shrugs apologetically. I guess the mender will do. Either way, we got a chance now or we're completely screwed. I'm Rook. We've come a long ways, some as far as Skoger. Are you in charge here? In charge of the governor, I suppose. Listen, if you have something to tell him, say it now, otherwise you're on your own. I don't care where you go, but stirring up trouble is probably the only reason you'll see me again. It won't be to talk. Mender, come along. We're going to go see the governor. Ulrich and Sigbjorn leave with Ivan, who goes willingly, signaling that he's fine. Thane, this is just like Frostfeller all over again. This is nothing like Frostfeller. The one in bearskin is probably leading the Ravens. Ravens? Is that good or bad? Depends on who they're working for. Hopefully it really is the governor, not someone trying to strong-arm their way into a seat. Guess we wait for Ivan to tell us if he comes back. I'm not worried about Ivan. I'm worried about an army of refugees we brought who don't belong here. You're probably right. Nobody ever uttered a nice thing about Boersgard, so what now? We ought to go to the docks and see what our options are in case we need to leave quickly. Did you notice city guards when we came in? What guards? I have a feeling the Ravens are all they have got left. Something serious went down. And when Beller gets here, he's going to walk right through this place without even breaking his stride. Let's keep that to ourselves for now. So the docks. Ugh. One renown gets one supply. Okay. When you get to the docks, your heart sinks. Not a long ship to be seen aside from the wrecks. Bodies float up in the water. Buildings are trashed and boarded up. What happened here? Murmurs Alette. They're all gone, says Ivan, approaching alone. I see you had the same thought as me. Ivan, you're okay? I'm fine. It wasn't a lie. The governor is here. He's in hiding. Why? Since the dread started appearing, anyone with a ship and half a wit left long ago. People can't leave by foot. Food is scarce and the markets are bare. Boersgard is a fire's keg waiting for someone to tip it over. So the governor's paying the Ravens to protect him against his own people. And keep the peace, so to speak. It's more like a massacre any time there's a hint of uprising. Where does that leave us? I promised him the Mender's protection and arboring. I don't think he's very popular there. You're gonna start tearing this place down to build new ships. We can then ride the Ormsa River all the way to the capital, leaving another perfectly good city behind. How long will it take to build new ships? Hold on. What happens to the people living in Borsgard? It's the best I could do, Alette. He thought it could take as long as a month. You don't usually make ships out of scrap lumber. As soon as people figure out what's going on, there's going to be riots in the street. A month? Why bother? Bellower will be here within the week, if not sooner. I'm open to suggestions. Gods be damned, is there no end to this? Ivor roars in frustration, leaving you standing by the docks. Alette gives you a worried look before chasing after him. Ivan, what do we do about Bellower? Ivan says nothing for a moment. I don't know. Alright. Okay, I'm gonna grab me a bowl of soup. Alright. Okay. You find Ivor standing on the city walls, overlooking the fields outside. Dredge are keeping their distance, but continue to gather. I'm okay, Rook. Ivor cuts you off before you can say anything. You know he's been through worse. Just feels like someone should cut us a break every now and then. If we want to be standing a month from now, we're gonna have to be prepared. What do you have in mind? First off, our clansmen need a place to stay. They'll get torn to pieces in the streets. I'll keep an eye on the dredge up here. If they can break through the walls, we're done for, so we'll have to keep them back. We could always use a hand with that. We need to know who's controlling what and make sure we get our cut. Food's going to become scarce. And when they start building those ships, we're going to have to keep people away. What a damn mess. I'll do what I can. Ivor explains. Hey, that's good. Hi, Noodle. How we doing besides the hand? I'm leading attacks with Ivan every time the dredge get too close to the gate. Listen, we're going to lose fighters and Varl every day like this. I don't need to tell you what happens if nobody's manning this wall. We could always use help. You consider what you want to do now, knowing that any of these tasks will likely take a full day. Oh fuck. Find a place for the caravan, I think, is first priority. The entire caravan has spread out in the streets where they're attracting attention. We could look for a public house to suggest a let like Frostweller. Hey, no worries. You can lurk all you want, sir. You figured that if you made camp in the open, you could at least keep everyone together. Or people leaving the city recently, there might be abandoned houses you could squat in. I feel like open space is going to get them killed. Let's try public rest house. Most of the caravan convenes in a large rest house that is nearly empty. The owner tells you people are either afraid to go out in the streets or have already left the city and they've been attacked a number of times for valuables, but your people are welcome to stay if they wish. Leave some fighters to protect. You take volunteers to keep watch at the rest house, which the owners are thankful for. Hopefully they won't be missed on the wall, but you feel better knowing clansmen are relatively safe. Ivor points out to the dredge along the wall. There's a lot more of them. They're getting braver. We lost a fair number of fighters since yesterday. We could use your help if there's anybody left to defend. One of the clansmen from the caravan finds you. Just want to tell you that everything seems to be fine, he says, regarding the people in the caravan. There's a little scuffle with some looters, but the fighters who left sorted everything out. You consider what you need to do. Crummer, you shout, calling out the warlord leader. This is your expertise. Are you willing? Crummer is more than happy to switch off leading the charge, giving Ivor a break between fights. He spends the rest of the day showing you complex war strategies to reduce losses. Morale improved. This is bad, says Ivan as Ivor points across the field. Aside from the fact that we're up to our necks in dredge, a stone singer showed up. We've been losing warriors left and right. If we don't deal with it, this will come down by the end of the day. Dad, there's a riot at the docks. Let's runs up to you out of breath. They're trying to smash up the boats. When you calm her down, she says the ravens are there, but she's worried that things could get out of hand. Ah, shit. We still need to find food. When you get down to the docks, it's pandemonium. Few work on the ships now as the ravens stand over bodies of people while a huge crowd roars in anger. Bulwark's axes are covered in blood. What happened? You shout, pushing your way through the riders. What do you think could happen? Didn't take them long to figure out what we were building ships right under their noses, and they can't have one. Eagle in a hand. You brandish your axe low and try to find a voice over the chaos. Goes wrong quickly when one of the riders gets a quick jab in, smashing across the bridge of the nose, covering your face in blood. Last thing you remember is falling backwards. By the time you regain consciousness, the ride is finally being driven off. Won't save you next time. You hear Bulwark say, "This one's free." You stagger back to the wall with a new injury. Fuck a duck. This morning, says Ivor, I saw him. Bellower's here. The number of losses we've taken, I'm sure it won't be long now. Ivan leans silently on his staff nearby. Find some food. I checked around, all he tells you, and nobody has food or they won't be part with it for a fair price, and her medicine's been gone for days. They're either gouging the prices or it's just plain gone. She doesn't say it, but you can tell this is going to be a serious problem. You join Oddly to the biggest meat hall, determined to make some sort of deal. You tell a few of them you have food. You can tell a few of them have food to spare, but the ample number of bodyguards hang around make it clear they don't want to share. Fuck it, fight. As you motion to pull your weapon, Oddly stays your hand. You instead begrudgingly leave and says, even if I thought just the two of us could take them and run off with a couple of supplies, I have a feeling more people. Yeah. Fuck it, duck. Alright. I'm gonna be out of fucking supplies. Ivor, you begin. Can we really keep this up? Ivor looks like he hasn't slept for days. We lost a lot of fighters, he mumbles. The weight of the situation is crushing. Then far in the distance you hear a horn. Dredge don't use horns. It occurs to you. Ivan appears at your side just as a caravan of people come into view, Dredge turning to attack them. Who is that? You ask. It can't be, says Ivan. He runs towards the gate, shouting, You see their banner? It's a Khan. As you wonder how they got here, the gates are heaved open, and you charge onto the battlefield, clearing a path through the dredge. All right. Huh. Our supplies are rough. Morale's low. Oof. Why that way? Alright, let's just mend his armor. Oof. This fight's gonna be rough. Can we not? Can we not do this? God damn it, I feel like he's just gonna go down. No, cause oh my god. Eat a bag of dicks. I'd like to get away from the Shatterstone. Oh, fuck me. That was a mistake. Ugh. Ow. Oh. Alright. I fucking hate how this goddamn ability travels. I literally cannot figure out how to fucking use it for shit. It's like, travels diagonally, but I'm like, anytime I fucking try to use it, it's like, Not even close to fucking hitting another enemy. Alright, take big boy out. I know his turn just happened, but I'd rather the big ones be down. Alright. Get down. Alright, take him down, I let. Alright. Juno, I wasn't sure I'd ever see you again, Ivan. She smiles and they embrace. Ivan is completely taken aback, as though he doesn't believe she's real. I'm sorry I couldn't make it to Sigurd home. I ran into problems. Problems is putting it lightly. There's a mile-wide canyon practically splitting the world in two over those hills. Couldn't find a worse place to cross. Worse, dredge are practically falling out of it like blood from a wound. They're not coming from the north anymore. They're everywhere. We noticed. Glad to see you made it alive, Ingvar. I take it the others didn't. Hakan becomes quiet, then he motions toward Juno. She got across somehow. Found her out cold for a second time since leaving Strand. We need every axe we can get right now. Bellower is here. Gods be damned. I thought I was free of that menace. I will deal with Bellower. Come on. No need to tempt him by standing out here. Hakon's caravan enters the city, fighting off waves of dredge as they go. To your relief, hundreds of skilled warriors are now safely in Borsgard. Hakan joins you with his personal bodyguard, Moger. Behind him, the Prince Ludin and his entourage are in tow, looking less than pleased to be here. I have one last trip to make. I need this one to come with me, she says, pointing to you. I'm sorry, Ivan. You must wait for me one last time. Do not let the city fall before I return. It takes everything within Ivan's power to hold back, but he does. She turns to you. Rook, come with me. We'll return in 2 days, maybe less if you're quick as you look. Tell anybody who needs to know. Where and why? Not far, says Juno. She pauses and things shifts in your vision. For just a moment, I know it's hard, she says, her voice filling your head. And you've already been through a lot. As she speaks again, the rest of the world melts away, but you're needed. You can't find the words to argue. You don't remember leaving the city, but here you are, walking through unfamiliar grounds behind Juno. You're alone, aside from hundreds of dread who are all facing toward an enormous stone ahead. The hairs on the back of your head stand up. We're at the Godstone of Straubs. You glance nervously around, but the dredge didn't seem to hear her. It's okay, you can speak. Softly. Is this where you're going to sacrifice me? Juno smiles. What could have come across as profoundly creepy looks sincere instead. No, the dredge cannot see us. To be more precise, but they can see us, but I've convinced them to be unconcerned. I can understand your apprehension, though. What are we doing here? Do you know of the god Straubs? If you know the stone exists, even amongst those who have lived their whole lives in Borsgard. While Dingler deals in fortune, Straubs taught men the value of trade in a different way. He showed them has consequences. That has consequence. Two sides of the same coin. See the silver in the stone? The gales up here wear away the stone, but the metal remains. We need a piece of this silver. The god of Straubs is wreathed by imagery of silver weapons. The myths say he traded these weapons to the gods, and they used them to kill each other. Those who seek out the stone call him the god of trade. The menders call him the god of secrets. He was both. Juno waits patiently for your surprise. For your reply. God damn it. Can't read. I wish I'd had the time for proper introduction. My name is Juno. I am on the Menders Council. You met Ivan, my apprentice. How are you doing these things? Controlling minds. I thought Menders built things and healed wounds. You're right. Menders do these things. Some of us still practice the teachings given to the Loom Mother's first creations. We are called Volca. I believe I'm the only one who can influence another's mind. Then why not take control of Belor? I learned talent to heal minds, not control them. Though even some Volca have trouble believing this. Taking control of Belor, it is the difference between convincing a child to sit still and telling a starving bear to stop being hungry. The truth is, we're rarely a match for the Sunder anymore. Our advantage is that we can train more Volca. It is also our weakness. Volca pass on and lose their knowledge, while the Sunder simply grow older and more powerful. Belor is both immortal and beyond my influence, to a point. Then how do we stop him? The gods of secrets will play a part, as will you. Okay. Why did you pick me? Why didn't you take Ivan or Hakan? You don't even know me. I apologize for putting you in danger. Ivan must keep Borsgard from falling while we are away. And if something goes wrong, I need to be certain one of us makes it back alive. I saw the thoughts of each person when I arrived at Borsgard. You were the only one I knew would return. What do you mean? You would find your way back to Alette no matter what. They seem to be drawn to the Godstone. There are many things we don't know about Straubs. Maybe they seem as a patron, or it is an attraction they cannot explain. Straubs have something to do with that serpent in Einertoft? What was that thing? I cannot say. Can't? I have my suspicions, but until I've had time at the Menders libraries, it would be unwise to speculate. For all of our knowledge, it always seems as though we know little. Imagine how the rest of us feel. On the contrary, the less people know, the more certain they tend to be. Let's go what we need to go. Indeed, you'll need to dislodge at least a fistful of the metal. Alright. We will forge it into an arrow to slay Belor. Wait, after everything you've told me, make a magic arrow to shoot Belor. That's all it takes. Why didn't you do that a long time ago? Juno gets a faraway look in her eyes. No, that is not all it takes. What I tell you now must not be repeated. The arrow will not kill Belor, even were it to strike his heart. He has no physical weaknesses. Shit. When it pierces him, it'll help him believe that he's dying. The rest of you will convince him of it with sword and axe. Everyone who fights at your side must believe it to be true. You're gonna trick him into thinking he's dead. That is the most insane. He really can't be killed. No. Someday he will awaken and realize he's not dead. I imagine he will be quite upset. First, we must make the arrow. Focus on the task at hand. She looks knowingly at the godstone, waiting for you to start climbing. Rook, I am not certain how the dredge will react when you do this, and behind us is a sudden drop, so be careful. Yeah. Approaching from the back of the stone, you start to climb, looking for a loose piece of silver vein. Even without looking out onto the dredge, you can feel each sinister face watching you closely. Held back only by Juno's influence, panic races through your blood. Climb hard where it might be easier. As you climb, you can't help but notice the stony masks of dredge lined up before the godstone, like worshippers before an idol. Just a glimpse nearly immobilizes you. Your hand rests on a piece of silver that comes away easily. The dredge do not react. While you're here, you glance quickly around to see if there's any more low-hanging fruit. You're able to pry away another smaller piece of silver ore before your nerves give out. You nimbly descend where Juno is waiting. Well done, she says. As you walk back through the dredge, their heads turn in unison to follow. The dredge that lingers and the shaking in your hands does not subside for hours. Okay. You approach the gates of Borsgard again, relieved that they're still standing. It looks like they took a beating while you were gone. Alette rushes to your side and throws her arms around you once you've crept through the gate. Juno smiles at your reunion and tells you take this time with your daughter. Find a smith who can fashion an arrow from that silver. Have other things to which I must attend, but meet me on the walls when you're done. Alright. It takes a while, but you finally find someone willing to craft an arrow for you. He eyes you suspiciously when you show him the silver, but shakes his head and gets started. Alette watches the smith's fire reflecting in her distant stare. I talked with Ivan a long time while you were gone. He told me a lot about Juno. She really as powerful as he said? It certainly seems that way. That might be the most luck we've had so far. Dad, I think I know what's going to happen now. An arrow. She's going to make you shoot Belora, isn't she? I don't know for sure. Come on, who else is going to do it? Ivor? I know where this is going. You're afraid of me dying. This isn't like before. We can't run this time. That's not what Let me do it. I'll think about it. No, there's no time for thinking. What do you think when Belora comes straight for the person holding the only thing that can destroy him? Let me speak. Everything's changed. Skogar feels so long ago. I'm not asking because I'm afraid of losing you. I'm not afraid of anything anymore. Let me do it because you know I'm a better shot. I have a better chance of puncturing his armor. We only have one shot. I'm not a child anymore. I'm not just some girl. I'm your daughter. I can do this. For once, let me decide what happens to me. I know you can do it. Okay, I'm gonna spoil myself on this choice because when I played this back in the day, I'd never finished all 3 parts. I also know I got Rook killed, and I'm wondering because if Let is able to die here, I want to know if Alette shoots the arrow if she dies, because if so, fuck no. Da-da-da-da. Yep, nope. Nope. Sorry, Rook. Yeah, no. Just promise. Promise we'll be together. You sit by her side silently until the smith finishes work. So basically, at this point, I have to choose who's fucking dying. Cool. There he is. Juno is in the middle of an animated debate as you approach the arrow in your hand. There's little time left. Bellower knows we're here. Whether he's waiting for more of his forces to arrive or simply wants to starve us out first, I cannot tell. But he will not expect a direct attack. Is this a joke? How are we going to do that? I will take a handful of warriors to face him. I can keep a small group hidden from sight. The rest of you will lead the charge from here. With luck, Bellower will send his armies away from himself to meet you. What about the Ravens? They may protest. They will not. I've arranged a task for them. Even if you make it to Bellower, what chances there of defeating him? We saw what happened at Einertoft. That thing can't be killed. Juno shows them the arrow you had forged from the Godstone Silver. This will make him bleed like the rest of us. Once he is pierced, he will be vulnerable. She looks you in the eyes. You only have one shot. Do not miss. And bring all of those you absolutely need. It will take all my concentration to keep the other dredge from swallowing us up. I cannot join in battle. And if we kill Bellower, then what? The dredge will just wander away? That is my belief, yes. Can't say for sure. This is a doom planned. Help us hold out here until the ships are finished. And then what? Bellower will hound her every step, all the way to Arboring, where I'm certain more sunder await. Now is the time to speak to loved ones and memories of any god that pleases you. Rest. In the morning we slay asunder. I believe once we get through this is the end of part 1. The silence is what you remember. You rise in silence and walk through empty streets. Upon the wall, 2 armies stand quietly watching each other. Your footsteps echo on the wooden floorboards as you approach Juno. She breaks the silence. It's time, Juno says. Gather your allies. Today, one thing will end and another will begin. And our actions will decide on which side we stand. Alright. Didn't mean to try to remove her. Alright. Let's go. Oh my god, he's angry as fuck. Bye, Rook. It was nice knowing you. Roar. Ooh, that sounded like he snapped him in half like fucking, No, Dad, please help him. I mean, he's probably dead as fuck. Haste, child, finish the bellower now. Owie. I don't like that he's getting extra fucking turns right now. I'm trying to end this fucking fight now, but Dickbag just keeps doing asinine bullshit. Get him, Hakan. End it. Thank you, sir. Okay, I was like, what? Why is it just sitting there like that? Damn it, Rook. Not you too. Dad, get up. Get up. Help me. Where are the menders? Hush, child. Look at me. It's been too long. Put up your hood. You are alive and we must go. You're only barely aware of the surrounding chaos as Dredge flee from Varl warriors who pushed their advantage. Alette, become someone else today. There is time to be Alette another day. I will carry your father back to the city. He will be honored properly. I promise you that. Come now. Juno was right. With Bellower fallen, the Dredge flee from the battlefield. You return to Borsgard, but have almost no memory of doing so. Aside from the image of your father's still body being carried in Ivor's arms. Ivor has one arm. That's a typo. So we should have the time we need to finish the ships. I think you're right. The Dredge don't seem interested in us anymore. Since Bellower fell, they've been going their own way. The Ravens have been keeping the docks clear. Juno's talking to them about something now. When those longships are ready, we'll be able to sail all the way to Arbor Ring. With luck, before the darkness shows up here. How far to the south has it spread? Couldn't say. Hopefully not far. We'll get the prince back to his home, and Hakan has already decided to come with us. There's not much else to go back to. The two look up as you approach. Alette, it's nearly time. So be ready to leave Borsgard, find somewhere safe. One ship is done already at the docks. I had it prepared for Rook. I don't think I can do this. Come, Alette. It's time to honor your father. A Viking funeral. Very fitting for Rook. May you find good rest in the afterlife, Rook. Your sacrifice will not be in vain, hopefully. A wild visual to have. Yeah, that's the end of part one. All right, I'm gonna use the restroom and I'm gonna go set up my drums so I can play a couple songs and then probably call it an earlier day today than I did yesterday. But BRB, you can enjoy the music while I go pee and set up.